it's your Missniecytv, and I'm here to do a review for Zatima Season 3, Episode 16. The episode picks up where it left off, and Zack is like, have you lost your dang mind? Lizzie's like, what is wrong with you? Zack is like, who are you? Malachi is like, I think there's some type of misunderstanding. Zack is like, somebody better start explaining something before you get real active up in here. Malachi is like, well, this is my wife Leslie, and I'm Malachi, and we're old friends of Fatima. Leslie's like, you see me bent over the counter and you couldn't get enough of me, and that's what happened. We was about to get down to business. Zack is like, oh, okay, but how'd you get in my house? They're like, Fatima told us where the spare key was. Fatima, now why would you tell people where your spare key is? You haven't seen these people in years. You just seen Leslie at the gym one day and told her to come over. Now you telling her where your spare key is? I know they say pregnancy brain is a real thing, but I think the pregnancy brain also took some of your common sense. Leslie's like, you must be Zack. This is a hell of a way to meet. Zack is like, yeah, I'm sorry, Malachi. Zack turns to Leslie and he's like, you look a lot like Fatima. Leslie's like, yeah, I know. Then Zack is like, where's Fatima at anyway? Leslie's like, she said she was close by. Zack is like, okay, I'm gonna go take a shower. Y'all make yourselves come. Zack tells her not to touch nothing and to wipe off the counter that she was sitting on because he eats there. At first, Leslie said that they would be comfortable waiting outside. Over at Angela's, Angela calls Bryce back over. She's like, Bryce, wait. Bryce is like, okay, you must want to talk about something. Then she tells Bryce what's going on. He's like, oh my god. Bryce goes into this whole story about one day he was self-pleasuring himself and he was looking at this website. And they sent him this email saying that if he didn't send them 10,000 Bitcoin, they were going to release a video of him self-pleasuring himself. They hacked his email and they also hacked his camera, but he's like, I always make sure I turn my camera off and I changed my passwords to everything but this web. They got the footage. Bryce is like, I'm so sorry, Angela. I'll fix this. And Angela's like, you always say I'm sorry. He told her when he first was over there, though, he was like, well, you told me don't get the ones with the cameras because he also asked about the smoke detectors. Bryce is like, I basically thought you agreed to it. You took me back saying yeah. Angela's like, well, I was at work and I wasn't paying attention to my phone. Back over at Zack and Fatima's, Fatima finally makes it home and she sees Malachi and Leslie and she's like, sorry I'm late, guys. But what happened? He's like, well, things got hot and heavy between me and Malachi, and Zack walked in and he thought that I was you. He flipped Malachi over the table. Fatima's like, I can see why. Your hair looks just like mine. And Fatima's like, where's Zack? They're like, he's upstairs taking a shower. Fatima's like, okay, I'll go upstairs and check on him, and I'm sorry about that. Fatima goes upstairs and Zack is coming out the bathroom from taking a shower and he's like, hey, are you surprised to see me? Fatima's like, no. He's like, of course you wouldn't be because you knew that Jeremiah was alive since yesterday, but you still didn't come get me. Fatima's like, can we not argue about this right now? I have friends downstairs and they can hear everything. Zack is like, oh, I know. Fatima's like, I don't know who great idea it was when they built this house, but we don't have a door. Zack is like, well, let's just go to the bathroom. Zack and Fatima finally make it to the bathroom and Fatima's like, can you get out? I gotta use the bathroom. Zack is like, no, I've seen you pee before. Just go to the bathroom. Zack and Fatima eventually have a conversation and Zack starts off with, I was wrong and you were right. He's like, but you're about to meet my wife and you're the mother of my child. What was I supposed to do? Fatima's like, let the police handle it. Zack is like, no. Fatima's basically like, so you don't feel bad for anything? Zack is like, of course I feel bad, Zack, and you really don't feel bad. You're just saying that to get on her good side. Zack is like, any woman would love for that man to protect. Fatima's like, of course, and I know that you would protect me, but I also don't want you to get in trouble and go to jail for something stupid and throw it all away. Fatima's like, what if this got really bad and he really died? Zack is like, well, he didn't die. Zack is like, I just had to teach him a lesson and show him not to put his hands on you no more. Fatima's like, I bet he definitely did learn that lesson. Fatima then goes into a story about her mom and her dad and how she was at the grocery store with her mom one day. Her mom was arguing with a man over a parking spot and Fatima's like, call my dad. And her mom was like, no. Fatima couldn't understand why she said no, but then she realized that her mom knew what was best for her dad because her dad could have killed the man and Fatima just tried to make Zack see that she was only doing the same thing that her mom did for her dad. Fatima's like, can we stop talking about this? I gotta use the bathroom and I got friends downstairs. Zack's like, go ahead and pee. I've seen you pee before. Fatima's like, Zack, I gotta shit. Fatima's like, Leslie's probably drinking all the wine. And Zack is like, oh, I know. And she don't need no more wine. Then we see Zack go downstairs and he apologizes to Malachi again. And Malachi's like, I get it. Leslie's like, I don't like how things escalated so quickly. And Zack was like, well, you gotta think about it. I thought you were Fatima if I saw two people in here about to get hot and heavy. What was I supposed to do when you're in my house? She's like, tell him what you would have done, Malachi. He's like, I would have seen the situation and see if it was actually her. And Zack is like, if it was, Malachi's like, all bets are off. Lizzie's like, well, Malachi would have acted more rational. Malachi is like, Zack is not trained like I am. Zack is like, what type of training do you have? Malachi's like, well, I was in the military. Zack is like, how do you know I wasn't in the military? Malachi was like, were you? Zack is like, no. Malachi's like, you like to do stuff more street style. And Lizzie's like, well, show him what you can do. Then they reenact the whole scene where Zack thought that Leslie was Fatima. And this is how Zack is thrown to the floor. Fatima comes downstairs and she's like, what the heck is going on down here? Leslie like, a lesson, you see? Leslie's like, Malachi was just showing Zack what would happen if you would have saw him coming earlier. Fatima's like, you done with all the lay afternoon say, how does your back feel, baby? And Fatima's like, baby? Fatima, you should have knocked her head off right then and there for calling your man baby. Fatima's like, I ordered us some food because it's too late to cook. Leslie, you still vegan? And Malachi, you still like all the meats? Zack is like, all the meats? What's that about? The ladies go to set the table and it's just Malachi and Zack talking. And Malachi's like, what do you do? Zack is like, I do real estate. Malachi's like, I'm an FBI agent. Zack is like, you could just say that out loud like that? Malachi's like, yeah, I'm not Secret Service. Malachi's like, how's business going? Zack is like, you tell me, you probably looked me up. Malachi's like, why you say that? Zack is like, it's not what you said, it's how you said it in the way you looked at it. Zack starts doing his usual, like, what you want to know? You want to know about my prison time and all that other stuff. Malachi's like, as a black man, I know there's some things that can make you cold. Malachi's like, as a black man, I know there's some times that we make mistakes. Zack is like, do you have any? Malachi's like, no, none that got me locked up. Malachi's like, there's no judgment here, I'm just happy that Fatima's happy. Zack is like, when's the last time y'all talked? Malachi's like, it's been a while since we were overseas, but it feels like time hasn't left us. Malachi's like, what's wrong? Zack is like, are you reading my body language or something? Malachi's like, actually, I am. Zack is like, what is my body language saying now? Malachi's like, you're very suspicious. Zack is like, I am. Malachi's like, are you like that with everybody? Zack is like, no. Malachi's like, you must be just new people. Zack is like, to be honest, she hasn't mentioned you. You can tell that Malachi got in his feelings, and he was like, I don't know why. It's like, maybe we can get to the bottom of it at dinner. Back over at Angela's, Angela calls Fatima to see if she heard from Malachi to see if he could get some help taking his stuff down. Fatima tells Angela that she's busy right now, but she'll ask him. Fatima's like, I'll ask him later when we're in private. Angela's like, please, just ask him, please, I really need help. Angela, she has a life outside of you. She can't always help you with your problem. Back over at Zack and Fatima, Leslie is talking to Fatima about Zack and how he's a hothead and how she looked him up. And Leslie tells her that she knows about Zack's prison time, and Fatima's like, Zack was young. Like, the video of him beating up his brother wasn't. Fatima's like, I know. Fatima's like, but you know what I will and will not tolerate. Leslie is basically trying to tell Fatima that Zack is no good for her. Doesn't have any loyal and true friends. Leslie's like, I hope dinner goes well. Fatima's like, yeah, me too, and I hope you don't drink all the wine. So it's time for dinner, and Leslie had too much to drink already, and she's like, I'm tired of everybody holding secrets. Zack is like, what secrets are you talking about? She's like, Malachi and Fatima used to date, and when they broke up, I got with him and we got married. I'm forced to live in Fatima's shadow because he's still in love with her, and he even wanted me to change my hair like hers. I do everything to be like Fatima because he's still in love with her. Leslie is like, oh, and Zack, you'll always be in Malachi's shadow too. Zack is like, wow, is that so? So Leslie's like, I know you called him and I know you went to go see him at the hotel the other night. Fatima's like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't. He's like, I'm tired of y'all playing games. Then she pulls out her phone and she shows the picture to Fatima. She's like, that's she, right? Leslie's like, look at the time of the date on the picture. And I'm like, Leslie, what time and date on what picture? Because there's no time and date. Fatima's hair is not even that color. But she's like, Zack, you see this, right? You got your contacts in. What you gonna do, Zack? What you gonna do? Zack is looking at Fatima, and I think he's not even mad. I think he's trying not to laugh. I think that Zack is just happy that the drama doesn't involve him right now. I think that Zack is just happy that the drama doesn't involve him right now, and I think that he's gonna talk to Fatima about it, but they're not gonna argue about it. Fatima and Zack don't need to invite nobody to the house anymore for dinner, because every time they invite somebody over, it goes haywire. I wonder why Fatima never mentioned Malachi in the terms of exes when she was talking to Zack. She always mentioned Ian, but she never mentioned Malachi. What kind of woman does that make Leslie for her to allow a man to tell her that he wants her to look like a woman that he was in love with? And she actually goes into. But I hope Fatima rips her a new one next week and tells her exactly what it is, and she meets the evil side of Fatima. Because Fatima's been too nice. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Bye!